All right, everyone. Welcome back to BRAP. It's Wednesday night. It's for the love of video games. We have a great show in store for our great listeners, everyone in the live chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you're new, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you're alerted when we go live. We got my man Persona Speaks. Persona, welcome back to BRAP, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to you, BRAP. Shout out to the listeners, man. I'm Persona, gaming with Persona. Very happy to be here, and can't wait to get into the topics.
Absolutely, man. I got to say, Persona, I really, there was that, what I call fake SSD controversy regarding PlayStation 5, and I really enjoyed your perspective on that. Because, look, man, I mean, people will figure this out like they do most things, but nah, man, great to have you back on the show. We also got my man B Money 101. B, what's going on, sir?
Not much, man. It's another great Wednesday. Happy to be here. Let's get to it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then we got my man Gaming Forte, who I gotta say, Forte, thank you so much again, sir. I just want to give you a big hug right now. I can't, but I'll give you a virtual hug. How are you this evening?
You're welcome, man. No, I'm good, man. I was gonna say something witty against you, but you just, you made me feel good. So I'm gonna leave you alone for at least the next 15 minutes. But no, it's been a good day, man. Hanged out with the kids. Went to the trampoline place, went to Airtime, did a little jumping around. They up there asleep now. So, it's, the little things you do as a parent to make sure your kids don't get on your nerves when you're doing a podcast at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you got to tire them out, man.
Oh, yeah. It's like going to Disney World every day. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. And then we got my man, somebody who's used to hearing this sound when he plays first-person shooters, Double Kill. Slow-mo backslap. What's up, Slow-mo?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great night. What's up, chat? Hope you're having a great night as well. Let's get into these topics, man. Let's do it.
It's easy to do that when you're playing against bots, though, Eureka.
You know what?
Okay.
Didn't I say it? Did I say it? I said
Yes,
this is what he does. He's going to come in with whack insults towards people on the panel to stir the pot. And
not just towards people in the panel, sir.
He'll miss the shots like he normally does in Halo Infinite.
I didn't say that against Persona. Persona plays first person shooters. I know his skill is genuine. He played against bots.
Are you saying Slow-mo's skills not genuine then? Like, what are you getting at here?
Slow-mo ducking me like you ducking B Money right now.
I guarantee you Slow-mo's not ducking you.
So when do you want to do it, man? You keep talking, but you're never actually doing anything.
Let's set it up.
And second of all,
let's go.
He throwing shots, right? When I didn't want to say this.
Go ahead.
But the guy keep running his mouth. When we play Halo Infinite, who was at the bottom of the team? Who was at the top every time?
Wow. Who was at the bottom?
Not every time, sir. Not every time.
Oh, no.
The majority of the time.
That's fine.
All right.
I didn't have no negative KDs out there either.
What in actual 4v4, which you didn't do?
Wow.
Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, you want to go play 4v4? We can go play Halo Infinite.
That's not what I just said. We can
go play Halo.
Is that we can go play?
We can go play Halo 5 Guardian every time we play Halo. Every time we never play 4v4 because I wasn't available to play when it was available 4v4. But if I remember correctly,
this is what I'm talking about.
Hold on.
He's talking about negative KD.
No.
I didn't have a negative KD against bots.
Did I say you did? No.
Do I even mention it if we're talking about how we played against bots?
No. I said
you brought that up.
I never had a. No, you said. What did you just say, Slumber? Before that, let's get it all out there. What did you just say before this whole conversation? Do you even remember?
So real
What are you
real
talking
quick.
about? You're the one who's starting all of this.
I know I started it, and then you tried to finish it.
And
but
I'm,
then you
and I'm,
finished
no,
it
I already
incorrectly.
finished it.
No.
Already finished
Look,
it with
look,
that.
look. Hey, real
It's
quick.
already
Listen,
been finished.
Listen, we can go play
Time
Halo.
out,
We can go
time
play
out.
Halo
Hell
5
already, you
Guardians
just don't
right
realize
after
it.
this.
Look,
We can
time
go
out.
live.
My skill
I will
level.
go
You
live
talking
on my
about
YouTube
skill
channel
level,
right
and
after
you
this video.
already-
We can go play Halo 5 Guardians
and
right
I
now.
gave facts about where you were
Listen,
against bots.
listen.
All right.
We can go
Hey.
play Halo 5 Guardian right after this show.
Time
and I will
out.
stream it
Struggling
to
to
the
get
world.
10 kills against bots.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
hey,
saying, I'm
gentlemen, real
saying.
quick, real quick. Look, the reality is this: is that we all know, and no offense, Forte, but Slow-Mo is probably better at FPSs than you, man.
Let's go. We can find out right after this show. We can find out right
I've
after
seen
this
him
show.
play, man. I've seen the
Listen,
Yeah.
okay.
But,
listen, I don't need to talk mess about it because all we gotta
Finish
do
it.
is
We talk-
boot up a
but
stream.
you've been
All we gotta
talking
do
mess.
is boot up a. All I gotta do
Wait
is
a
boot
minute.
up a
He
stream.
said, I
All I
don't
gotta do
need
is
to
boot up a
talk
stream.
mess. Everybody here, who
I
started
didn't say
this?
you. No. I didn't.
All right.
I didn't
Hey.
sit there and say
All right, we're
anything.
gonna-
I just
He
said.
said, I don't need to talk
I
mess,
said
but who
it's easy
started
to
it?
get killed. I said it was easy to get double kills versus bots. That's all I
all
said.
right. Look,
Okay,
let's,
is it that not starting something?
No,
That is Thursday.
Because we
All right,
played.
let's-
Because you
You
played
literally said 2 minutes ago,
majority-
yes, I did start
Majority
All
of
right,
those games
gentlemen.
you play in Halo Infinite was against bots, sir. That's all.
All right,
and that's all I'm saying.
all right,
You know
all
the
right.
best way
We'll-
to settle this, right?
I already said go live.
Good
Oh,
old
there's
fashioned round
there's
of
my
pencil
guy.
break.
What up, E?
What up? What up?
What's
Remember
up,
pencil
E?
break back in
What's up,
elementary
Eric?
school?
we got Eric Jackson in the house. What's up, E?
Chilling, man. What's going on?
You know, man, same old, man. Just listening to Forte trying to stir the pot.
As
You know.
usual.
As always, it's nothing.
Yes, Forte, the pot stirrer.
Yes,
No doubt.
That-
no doubt.
that's an emote right there. I'm glad you. That's another
That
emote.
monster drink definitely kicked in for slow mo.
Yeah, right, Persona.
Yo, Persona is only. Hey, it's only one person I know
Hey.
that lives on YouTube and on Twitter that can do this to slow mo. Only one
Oh,
person.
Oh wow,
Dude, you really think you were absolutely
I
doing-
know. I enjoy.
he really
I
thinks
enjoy this.
so
I enjoy
highly
it
of
because it's
himself.
so easy to do. It's so easy
He
to do.
really thinks he's like the top stuff over
I
here. It's
am
crazy.
I am just Nostradamus when it comes
Persona
to
is
getting
talking
them
about
slow-mo
the
nerves.
monster I took before starting the podcast. You actually think, and look, here's the sad thing about how predictable you are. I told them you would do this when you came in, did I not?
You
This ain't
did.
nothing new. This
I'm
is
not
nothing
talking
new.
to
definitely-
you.
I
I'm
can
talking
tell
to everyone else that
Hey,
already.
but Enrique,
definitely
but
I
Enrique, is
definitely
this
said
any
this
is this
is
any
what you
foreshadowing?
do.
Slow-mo.
This isn't
Enrique,
a foreshadowing.
could you
this
have
is,
guessed
this?
this?
is the truth that you
This
haven't
ain't
had a
nothing new,
good
though.
take in months. You haven't had a good
Oh,
take
oh,
in gaming
okay,
in
okay,
months.
all right.
But
Whoa,
you do.
all right,
good
okay.
take in
You
months.
You got a
stirred the
report
pot.
card, report.
Oh,
You
man.
stirred
I
the
must
pot
be, you know what?
make
He
yourself
gave you a
sound
D,
interesting.
Forte. Your
You
takes.
know what? I must. You know what?
Forte
I haven't
stirs
had
the
a great.
pot
I
to
haven't had a
make
great
himself
take.
sound
You know
interesting.
what? I haven't had a great take. You know what? Matter of fact, I think slow mo. That's why DPS podcast is all slow mo, yo. Because slow mo has all the takes and Forte has nothing.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
all-
all right.
Man.
It's
Let's-
officially
yeah.
no. It's officially.
Man,
All right,
I mean,
let's-
like,
wow.
if you saying I'm carrying you in DPS the way I carried you in Halo,
Oh,
I mean,
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep,
oh, that's
absolutely.
okay.
Oh, man.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god,
You know what?
Not
I
like this.
bow.
yo,
I bow.
the-
I bow
the
to the
knockout.
It's a good night to be here, Persona.
Yeah,
Yup,
Persona.
I
Hey,
bow to
this
the
is
ult- I
definitely
bow
good.
to the ultra
this is
slow-mo.
this is like the Locks versus Dipset right now.
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right, let's get
I mean,
to
I
long
was
as it's
just
not
trying.
like Bob
I wish
was
we
just
was on
trying to
camera
have
right
a
now.
good show. I
Here's
was
the good
just trying
question.
to have a good show, and this
I
guy
wish
come
we
in
had-
with the predictable Forte-isms,
Hey, yo, Brad,
and then he get mad
Yeah,
when
go
it
ahead,
turn
Persona.
out.
I'm not mad. I'm
Hey,
happy
guys,
for you, slow mo.
Persona-
Hey,
sorry,
hey,
check-
Brad,
go ahead,
here's
go ahead.
here's the good question though.
Yeah.
Which one is the locks and which one is Dipset?
Oh, we know who Dipset is.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna name any names.
What's the Mr. Jadakiss sound? Oh man!
All right,
Oh,
but
no.
yeah, Eric, man, great to see you, man. Eric, you walked in the right time, man. But we have some topics to talk about this evening. We have Xbox's huge Gamescom announcement, or what will they announce at Gamescom? And then we have breaking PlayStation news that actually in regards to the acquisition of Crunchyroll, and Blue Box Game Studios in trouble. let's start with Blue Box because I tell you what, if they don't hit a home run here with all the teasing, if you will, of Silent Hill and I almost said Master Chief, but I mean Metal Gear Solid. I feel like if they don't hit it out of the park, if they don't really show something that is like epic or like a megaton moment, they're gonna get booed off the stage pretty bad, I think. And yesterday's showing was I'm concerned. Yesterday's showing with the app didn't work is maybe foreshadowing that. But I want to go to you, Persona. What do you think about Blue Box Game Studios, man? Do you agree that they really need to show something that's going to be like, whoa? Or if they don't, are they going to get booed off stage?
Hey man, listen, Blue Box is overhyped trash. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
okay.
It's an L. I always felt like this from the beginning because I'm like, I don't like that cat and mouse stuff. Like, I don't know if you can curse on here.
Yeah, you can.
I don't like okay. I don't like the cat and mouse stuff, right? And so, like with Blue Box, at first I was kind of like playing it, like, kind of on board, like, oh, okay, it's kind of Silent Hill, it's not kind of Silent Hill. I wasn't getting no Metal Gear vibes from none of this. Like, I always got like kind of sort of Silent Hill vibes. But when I look at like where they're at now, they delayed the app twice.
Mm-hmm.
The second time it got delayed closer to launch, and now here we are now in August, and it still doesn't work. They show us quick little snippet of a dude in an olive green jacket that is resemblance of I forgot dude name from Silent Hill, and so that's sparking that back up, right? I think they bit off if this is not Silent Hill or something along those lines. It's really, I think their game is DOA because they are overselling something that really isn't what it is. And I feel like this is definitely going to this may actually tank them as a development studio. And
wow.
I'm gonna be honest, this is going to sound really messed up. I don't feel bad for them at all. Like I really have no sympathy for them.
So you think this is self-inflicted?
I don't think that's messed up at all. Yeah, it's definitely self-inflicted. It's like pulling out a gun and shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh, boy.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me it's this hard to set up a website? I know it's not. I've done it before. It's not this hard to set up a website. Okay, so
is it this hard to set up a trailer though? Like, what's with all that? No, I get you trying to be a little different, and I respect that. Right, people trying to be creative and stuff like that. But have your ducks in a row. If you really are an independent studio with only 20 people, you might be biting off a little more than you can chew here. You got to stay in your lane, right? I'm not making Ferrari money. You get what I'm saying? I got, if someone trying to buy a Ferrari, but they got Honda Accord money. Like, listen, you got to stay in your lane, man. They not in their lane, and it's really looking bad for them.
So let me ask you a question, Persona. Because what's interesting is you have Shuei retweeting, this on Twitter yesterday. And you got to believe Sony's giving them some kind of platform. Like with Sony, I mean, I like Sony, like I feel like Sony's so good at putting out good content. Sure, sometimes they miss the mark, like with No Man's Sky and Hello Games, that whole situation. Eventually that game actually improved over time, but that was kind of a little bit of a debacle at its release. Do you think, I mean, there's a little piece of me as hope because it's Sony. Is there a little bit of hope for you that maybe maybe it's because Sony's kind of,
Well, what's really surprised me is that, if these people really are partnered with Sony and really Sony is doing business and things like that, I'm very surprised that Sony has allowed this to go on the way it has, as long as it has. And, one thing we know about Sony and PlayStation is if PlayStation is partnering with any type of third-party developers or indie developers and stuff like that, PlayStation's development teams are also and their technologies are also at the disposal to help some of these teams get their projects out the door. If they truly are partnered with PlayStation, I would find it hard to believe that PlayStation would leave them out to hang and dry like this and not give them some type of support to make sure that they get whatever it is they're doing out the door. And that's what kind of also leads me to kind of think, this all might be just like some crazy, clever ruse, and it's just going to be this super crazy surprise of, oh, it's Silent Hill, oh my God, but it's really weird that PlayStation wouldn't be helping a 20 person team like this to make sure that they get their project out the door, get whatever they're doing out the door, because that also makes PlayStation look good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not getting the fragrance vibes. You know what I mean?
Oh no, definitely no
from this.
fragrance.
Yeah. But I guess it Persona, if this thing does hit, let's say it's like Metal Gear Solid, that, you know, that rumor's been going around for quite some time now, where that game's supposed to get a remake. If it is, would you think that this, maybe looking back, if it is Metal Gear Solid, that maybe this marketing was kind of brilliant in that regard, that, hey, they got people engaged in ways we haven't, at least in my experience, I have never seen before, where they got, you know, social media guessing. There's all these conspiracy theories. I mean, in that regard, they do have people talking, you know, and sometimes bad press is good press, right?
I mean, I'm old. I mean, I'm young, like I'm 30, but I'm old in gaming years. I've been gaming since the 90s. And, you know, for me personally, I wouldn't want any studio to do something like this again. If it turns out to be something, you know, that we all been wanting, but this was all just some clever ruse. Just because I'm very impatient and I get annoyed very easily. And shit like this annoys me because you playing around. Like, you get me hyped, but then it's not what it is. But then it is what it is. Oh, maybe it's this. Here's a clue. No. Damn all that. That's all bullshit. No, just tell me what it is. Give me the trailer. Now, for other people in the community, they may love this and think, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I respect that. But for me personally, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Let me grab the super chat real quick, and then I want to go to the rest of the panel with this. We've got Game Over Brian with a $5 super chat. Says, Sony, shout great panel. I can't even talk. Shout great panel questions for either legendary Persona or upcoming YouTuber influencer Forte. When upgrading Final Fantasy VII Remake, do trophies pop automatically? I love that, by the way, every week, man. Thank you for the super chat.
Shout out to Game Over Brian. Yes, they do pop automatically, Brian.
Yeah. I want to pose a question to the panel now, and please, you know, feel free to jump in. Do you all think that this could end badly for Blue Box if it isn't Metal Gear or Silent Hill?
I can only see this ending badly. Period.
Yeah.
Like, even if it turns out to actually be Silent Hill or Metal Gear remake or whatever, this small little studio is not equipped to one, do a remake of those titles that where nostalgia is mostly fueling the desire from gamers to play it. I don't think they are equipped to deal with the pressure, the hype that comes with that. If that is indeed what they're actually making, and if they're not, which I kind of feel like they're not doing that, but whatever, right? Who knows with all this foolishness and insinuations that they've been doing. But if that's not what they're doing, they're just going to get hammered by the entire gaming community for doing all of this, insinuating here, hinting at there kind of stuff of something that you're not even working on. Like, yeah, you got some attention. You got more attention than any other indie developer of your caliber got with all that stuff. And now you know why other people don't do what you're doing. Because when it comes out that this is not what you're working on, the hammer's going to come down on you. And whether your game is good or not, people are going to trash it. They're just going to be like, it's not what you told me it was going to be or insinuated it was going to be. Therefore, I hate it. And that may be unfair to the developers that's working on the game. But unfortunately, the people in leadership at Blue Box, whatever you want to call the studio, put them in that kind of position. And so this should be a great example of why you don't reveal a game this way. I mean, like we mentioned No Man's Sky before, but at least with No Man's Sky, the very first time we heard about No Man's Sky, we actually saw it. Not a fake teaser trailer with some grass in the woods, but an actual, like, even though the game didn't turn out to be anywhere near what they said it was going to be, you at least got to see some of the actual game when it was revealed. What is this? You don't see anything with this. You know, this is just, it's crazy. And I agree with Persona where I don't feel bad for them because this is a self-inflicted wound. You put yourself here. So
that's also why I think, like, Sony knows what the hell is going on here. Like, you can't just come out of nowhere. Like, this studio has never made like any real games. So,
Right.
all this hype that they, have been drumming up, and they want to have like the best visuals and all this other nonsense they've been talking about since they announced this damn game. They got an actual interactive app on the PS5. Like, what other indie studio would even think to do that? How did they get that
That's a good
greenlit
point.
if we don't know what the fuck the game is? You know what I mean? Like, so on the back end, Sony knows what the hell's going on here. You know what I mean? And all the like teases of Silent Hill and you know what I mean, Old Snake. You know what I mean? Like, even though we uncovered that was like an asset or whatever, like you play on people's emotions when you tease stuff like that, because of course that's exactly what most people thought. Like, oh, it's got to be Metal Gear Solid.
That's
Yeah.
the same
You would think-
when that one tweet where they said Abandon is really a game that begins with S and begins and ends with L,
with
right?
L. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and people immediately went, "Oh, Silent Hill, you're making Silent Hill," and it's just like, why are you doing this? Like, you went from insinuating a Silent Hill to hinting at a Metal Gear, and it's just, it seems like they don't care how this is going to turn out. They're of the mind that, oh, any attention is good attention.
But that's why I think Sony is playing a part in it, because there's no way that you would even allow your fan base to be tricked like that. Why would you allow
Yeah.
them to put an interactive app on your console?
Well, the thing
Like,
that's
they
also
obviously know what the
saying-
game is. Like, they had to see the game. They had to see a prototype of the game before it could even be certified to be put on the console. So they know what the game is. So like, either they're rocking with whatever the game is, or they have to be, because otherwise, like, why would they go to these measures?
But look through PlayStation's Twitter. Through all of this, PlayStation hasn't retweeted nothing hyping up the app,
Exactly.
nothing about any updates, nothing. And they're partnered with PlayStation, and PlayStation's not retweeting or doing a PlayStation blog article or nothing like that, or none of this. That also seems really weird and fishy to me, because I'm like, you really if this is truly like a true business deal, and they're not making what they're making, PlayStation, you really leaving these dudes out here, these people out here to hang, because man, like, this is a disaster.
Yeah, it would be like on a whole different level. Like Slow Mo brought up, No Man's Sky, because you remember like Sony was like, they took them to the dance, and then just like left them. They went out in the parking lot looking for Sony, and Sony was gone. Type of thing.
Yo,
And it was like, so Persona's almost like kind of like that same thing. If they are involved, this is a weird way to go about it. This is like way out there, and it just leads to all kind of weird conspiracy thoughts about it. Like, maybe Blue Box is a part of Blue Point. This is some ruse to like announce them. But then it's like, why go that far with any of this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's gone too far where the joke isn't even like, or it's not even cute or coy at this point. It's just annoying.
Mhm.
To a point where no matter what you do, people are just gonna be annoyed. And like Slow-Mo said, you're gonna get trolled no matter what now. Because it's like the thing to do. It's just it's just crazy.
And it's just weird because like, we know that they're going to announce Blue Point. So it's
Mhm.
like, that already has been like thrown out there. They announced 2 other studios and haven't said shit about Blue Point.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what the fuck is going on with that? Like, why haven't you said anything? Like, they just announced those other studios on random days.
Yeah.
Oh, here we added Nixus. Oh yeah, we added Housemarque. They're part of
Yeah.
PlayStation now.
Yeah, that's just the weird thing, because who gave them that kind of access to be like, yo, we're doing an app on PS5 that on top of that looks terrible because you directed everybody to it, and then the app is busted.
Right.
For this announcement or whatever like the case may be, and it's just, yeah, who's giving them this access? And like Persona said, it's like, if Sony's really involved in this and you're giving them this access, it's like this is a very weird way. You're supposed to be like the publisher that knows entertainment, knows how to like tickle people's asses with a feather, and the whole thing is weird.
Well,
Yeah.
because even when you even look at what PlayStation, like the type of blog articles that they put out, I mean, let's look at Jade Raymond's studio. when they first announced that, there was no name, there was no description of the game,
Right.
like there was
Yeah,
nothing. But they
yeah.
put out a whole blog article talking about this. But when it comes to this blue box shit, nothing. You're not even like putting anything like what like
Right.
what?
Not
So
put
I'm
anything
kind of
out.
looking at I'm looking at both PlayStation and Blue Box, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what type
Right.
of business deals are we
Right.
doing here? Like, I need some
Right.
information.
And for as fast as Sony is to shut things down, it's like, yo, you give these people access to an app on your platform, and they're out there talking all this like this big game, and you're quiet on it. So the whole thing, like you said, on both sides, honestly, like you said, on both sides of it, makes Sony look weird
Yeah.
for not either not addressing it or going along with it. Either way, that's very weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't add up, and it's gonna be if I'm telling you, if it's not I think everyone agrees here on the panel. If this thing is not like Megaton and blow our minds away, people are gonna be like, "That's it," and they're gonna get booed off stage, like I said earlier.
But Enrique, is there anything at this point? Is there anything at this point that can be that Megaton, that mind blowing, to where it will move past some of the annoying parts of it? Like they don't catch smoke no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think they're gonna get smoke anyway. Like, let's say it's Metal Gear Solid. They show it looks fucking incredible. People will be like, okay, Metal Gear Solid. Everyone's kind of known about that, and you guys went through all this to tease Metal Gear Solid. Why?
Nah,
right?
hold on. If it's Metal Gear Solid remake, the internet going melt.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it will.
The internet's going melt. Like the internet is going to melt.
But this goes back to the other thing where I say where like they're pretty much going to take a L regardless, because if it turns out that's what it is, think about that. You're doing a remake to a classic. You have to nail that. You have to nail it the way Blue Point nailed Demon Souls. And for a 20-man studio.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think
hasn't made games
That's why
before.
that's the front.
I don't think.
The front.
Yeah, I don't think PlayStation and really Konami, because these IPs are owned by Konami.
Right.
Konami. I don't see PlayStation going to Konami saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna give you a truckload of cash to get these two IPs made exclusive on our console," and then go to this Blue Point team and say, this 20-person team, and say, "Hey, we want you to create this cult classic remake."
It doesn't fit.
No. And that goes double for like, if you really think about it, that goes double for Silent Hill. Now, obviously, Metal Gear is at a higher pillar than Silent Hill, but Silent Hill is still like a very beloved series and franchise. So again, giving something of that even of a Silent Hill caliber to a 20-person team, that seems to me personally a bit off. Personally, but I'm not a developer. I'm not in the boardrooms making decisions, so I don't really know. But to me, I wouldn't want a 20-person team doing that. I would want a very capable team like Blue Point to really handle both IPs.
Yeah.
So what if Blue Box is a part of Blue Point?
This rabbit hole can just keep going, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the rabbit hole keep going, man. Because it's like, what if they are part of Blue Point?
It's like,
yeah.
I mean,
what if Hassan is just an actor hired by Kojima, and it's Kojima all along? It's just like, I mean, we can do conspiracy theories all night.
And Kojima's just laughing at us right now, saying, "Aha."
Yeah, it's getting a bit, and that's why like I'm not really like paying attention to it no more, because it's like I'm tired of wondering. I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't even go like the other day when that whole thing. I just ignored it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I did too.
It's like,
I unfollowed Blue Box. I'm like, I'm sick of your shit.
But sounds like no. But did anyone actually like wait for it? Like I was tweeting Dreamcast guy, and he's like I've been here for like 2 hours. Dreamcast guy thinks they're fucked. He's like, I think they're done. But yeah, like I don't, like, for me, like I don't even care anymore at this point. Like I'm not even like, I think they're supposed to do it again tomorrow. But I'm not like hyped. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like take time out of my day to see what they reveal. Just because it's just gotten out of control at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, if to your point, Prasad, I agree with you. By the way, I think if Metal Gear Solid Remake's announced, the internet's going to melt. But I do think
yeah.
that there's going to be people out there be like, okay, well, you teased us like this for that. You know what I mean? Like, not that it's not a big announcement, but I think because the way they went about it, like Eric said, they're still going to get smoke. I think.
I think it depends. I think it depends on the game, right? Because I feel like if it's Metal Gear Solid, I feel like a lot of people would be more forgiving and be like, "Wow, oh my God, so elaborate!" Like, what is something they really love?
So elaborate.
Like,
You guys.
You guys.
you guys,
You guys.
you guys are so slicky. Like, how people are. When it's something you really love, people will
Right.
definitely forgive the
Oh,
bullshit.
God.
Like, so I think you'll definitely see a lot of people like switch their tune if it's Metal Gear and say, "Oh my God, did Blue Box just make history?" Like,
Right.
you start
The
seeing
whole
that.
beer, the whole
There,
tune
there will
thing.
certainly be some people doing that, but I think if it looks like doo doo, that people gonna be like, "Oh, no,
yeah.
you didn't.
It's over. It's
No,
over.
no, you didn't hype us up for that. For you to do this to my Metal Gear Solid, people take ownership over the classic
Yeah,
game
my
that they love so
Metal
much.
Gear Solid.
It's
yeah.
slow mo.
Yeah.
Slow mo. It's gonna be like the the HD remake equivalent of Skyward Sword, but for Twin Snakes.
Oh wow.
It's gonna be like, oh no,
and,
This
and
ain't
let
it, y'all.
and let them announce a price tag of $70. People are gonna go nuts.
Ah, man.
Ooh.
Oh man.
That's it. Why is $70
No,
a
for real,
dirty
can you
word? By
imagine
the
if it
way,
was like the GameCube port for Twin Snakes, but it was just like an HD upgrade?
Oh nah. Yo, listen, it can't be. Yo, listen, Metal Gear,
Haptic feedback.
it can't be a remaster. If it's a remaster, it's an L. It's got to
Right,
be a
yeah, for
remake.
sure.
You
Right,
I agree
got
with
to
you, man.
from the ground up, next gen only remake.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
if it's not, it's an L. Anything outside of that is an L, in my opinion. No
Persona,
way.
I don't want to see 4K enhanced. I don't want to see that.
No.
You know, I don't want to see
Yeah,
that
it's gonna be-
4K
gonna-
enhanced.
Revolver Ocelot origin story.
Oh boy, yeah, that wouldn't fly with me either.
That could be fun. That could be dope. be a platformer like 2D side scroll.
Be like a 2D side scroller. Can you imagine? Oh my
2D side
god.
scroll and Revolver Ocelot origin story. Like what?
Oh my god. People would lose their mind.
Yo, I would like feel like real talk. If they did something like that, I would feel like really disrespected. Like you really just like outright disrespected me. Like
On
I have a
every
problem on every level. Like you talked about my moms, you disrespected my family. Like no, this is disrespect.
Oh my gosh. but you know what though? It's like so I brought up a question earlier about the $70, like if they like people would lose their minds if they did that and then charge $70. But why is like $70 become like a dirty word? I feel like anytime $70 comes up, people get like, oh my god, greedy devs, this is terrible. And look, I get it. Like nobody's happy about a $10 price increase. I'm not, but I'm still gonna pay $70 for games. I want to play them.
Think of it. Think of it like this. It's like gas prices, right? When gas go up, everyone, oh
everyone's
my
mad.
god, gas is mad, but they still at the gas station getting the gas because they need gas in the car to get where they need to go. The $70 argument, I think, is the same thing because you have a lot of people that disagree with it, and listen, rightfully so. That's your prerogative. Like no one's gonna argue your beliefs. Like enjoy. But when it's a game that they want, all of that goes out the window. So I think the $70 argument is a bit of a double-edged sword because if it's something that you don't view as valuable, of course it's not going to be worth 70. But if it's something that you truly love and they're making a remake or a sequel or something like that, I feel like most people would put their beliefs to the side and support that game because it's something they love.
I agree with that, man. I totally agree with that. 100%. I just feel like
I think you got an example of that with the Battlefield announcements. People, I said, there's always going to be that game that makes people go, ooh, kind of start moving off that square. And that is a game that'll do that. And they don't have any upgrade path.
No, they don't, man.
As far as like which one you cop. So you're gonna pay to play. And that's why I find the whole thing interesting. Like Persona, you use like the example of the gas. And the reason, again, this is a small sample size. I think the gaming community at large, people kind of understand how pricing and everything goes up. And like I said, you see it in movies, groceries, clothes, shoes, everything. Everything goes up. But for some reason, in this little corner of gaming, it's an issue when it comes to games, right?
Mhm.
And the only thing I can usually think is because one gas station is still charging regular for gas, and the one across the street has gas pass.
Mhm.
So
Gas.
that makes so
Yeah.
that,
Well,
Gotta-
I think I
Gas-
think
got
it's
that
also
gas pass, man.
You said gas
Right.
pass. You got to remember the other one has premium gas. I might add.
so so it's just a thing, and it's like all of a sudden, if the roles were reversed, it'd be the same. It'd be the
Gas
argument going
pass.
around the same different way.
Well, I think it's also the fact of like, a lot of people view worth differently, right?
Right.
That's
So
true. That's fair.
because of that, it's not an objective thing. It's subjective because one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? So what one person might not view as being worth 70, here's this group of people that do. So, but the problem is that within social media and within this community, a lot of people try to push what they view as valuable onto other people as an objective thing, which is not fair because it's not. You can't say $70 games are wrong because you disagree, because what you value as worth is not something that me or the 190 people here watching, or 50, 60, 70, or whoever on social media, they don't view that same thing. And it shows in the numbers, right? The numbers, statistics, and things like that. Those are the things that people look at and gauge to determine if something really is working. You see where EA is moving with their $70 model, where not even the base version is going to get you the last gen and current gen model version. But you know what? Madden, FIFA, those games are still going to sell. Battlefield, those games are still going to sell because you know why? People don't care. People want the game. They love the games. They're going to buy the games. The numbers are always going to be the deciding factor of what this community will and will not accept.
That's a
Right.
great point,
and,
man.
And I mean, but you already saw it. I mean, people are acting like this. The way people keep talking about it is like we haven't hit that point yet, like with the $70 games. But you already saw it. 2K made their money going into the generation. They made their money raising their game prices to $70, right?
Mhm.
But this isn't anything new because last gen you had cats $60. I don't see the value in that. I'll wait for a sale. It's been the same thing no matter what. So what price? Like you said, everybody has like a thing, or what they, value is different to everybody, right? So like I said, we saw it all the time. Dudes would be like, $60 is too much. I'll wait. So cats have always been waiting. You just have to deem what's valuable to you. But I don't know. Again, if people want to stand on the square and they have this thing where it's like 70 is too much, that's on you. But we are, especially in North America, we are a country who values entertainment overall.
Yeah. And you know what's
So-
interesting? Go ahead, E.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying, it's like it's just an odd thing to me where in the game space, which when you really break it down and think about what a game can be, you get infinitely more, to me anyway, you get more value out of the playtime that you put into that as far as entertainment goes.
Mhm.
And I will always use the debate of going out to a movie.
Yeah.
Movies have gone up ridiculous. If you go out, if you take like your family out, like your wife, your kids, whatever case, you could easily spend 150 plus at a movie for
I've
a
done
full
that.
night
Wow.
out, for a couple of hours, and the movie
Yeah.
could still be shit.
Yep.
And you're gonna do it again the next weekend.
Yeah.
So why
Yes.
is it how come when it comes to games, it's like this whole different, it's like this different thing. It's like this taboo thing to talk about pricing. And I'm not capping for corporations. Like their job is to separate you from your wallet. I understand the relationship between corporations and my money. It doesn't change. It doesn't change with cars. It doesn't change with phones. It doesn't change with buying computers or whatever the case may be. Their job is to separate you from your money. Even something like Game Pass is created, and it's a funny thing. People think Game Pass is created out of love. There are people smarter than most of us sitting in a room deciding how to separate you from your wallet, even with something like Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
not
that's-
doing it that way because it's out of love. They have certain numbers that they're trying to hit
Mhm.
and push. And of course, I'm not saying there's not a value in that, but again, it's meant to separate you from your wallet. But people have this equation where it's like, oh, it's beautiful because they care. Corporations, they don't care. They're just trying to get your dough.
Yeah.
They
They
just
don't.
go about it different ways.
They don't love you. They love your wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting? You bring up the movie aspect, and my my thought on the whole $70 thing is actually when I think about it from an entertainment perspective, and I get it, like Persona said, I mean, value is subjective, but for me at least, like movies are about $14, $15, depending on what theater you go to. Sometimes I think they can go up to $20 if you go to IMAX, right? And you're getting
like matinee price now.
Yeah, you're essentially getting 2 hours of entertainment. Where you pay $70 for a game, you could get 30, 40, 50 hours, 100 hours at times of entertainment experience. Like I don't think so. I don't think $70 in that regard is that bad. If I'm looking at other entertainment experiences per se, right? Like if I'm looking at movies, but that's just, that's, but again, I understand that not everyone sees value in the $70 and that's fine. But I also don't think that $70 is like this evil thing, or the most terrible thing to ever happen in gaming. I see people kind of, throw that out there, and it just, again, if it's not for you, don't pay for it. But I don't think it's, my opinion, I don't think it's out of bounds when you're comparing it to other forms of entertainment, like going to the movies.
Enrique, I've said again, and this goes back to what Persona said too. Value is based upon the individual. And I'll say it again, subscription services, like say Netflix, right? If you're a subscriber to Netflix, you kind of set it and forget it, but you don't really watch movies like that, but you're paying it every month. Are you getting a value out of that? Right?
Well, I think it's also, if we take this out of the realm of gaming and put it into the realm of real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Value is, the way value is so subjective is, say, you're trying to court a girl, right? What's the purpose of most men wanting to get a girl? They want to make her a girlfriend, make her your girlfriend, make her your wife, whatever, get her into bed, things like that. What are you doing? You spending $100, $200, $300 on a nice dinner date or whatever, or something, that ain't for you. That damn sure ain't for me. You know what I want. Right. Let's be straight up. That $300 coming out of my pocket ain't for me. You know what I want
tonight, baby.
You know what I want, but you got to do that in order to get what you want. But people see value in that because the end game is, again, getting a girl, making her your girl, sex, whatever. I think, again, this is why value is so subjective. And I think why this $70 argument is always, I think this is something that is always going to just keep coming up and keep being talked about because value is so subjective. You can't put value into a finite position to be absolute because it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
But people keep trying. They keep trying to like push what is like for what they're thinking is onto everybody else. And it's like it's not one size fits all. That's why you have, there's like there's levels to it. That's capitalism. There's and the best thing you can do is if it doesn't jive with you, say no.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's all you gotta do. No mas. Not for me.
I'll wait. Don't let the FOMO get you. If you're like, 70, I'm not rocking with that. Wait, give it a little bit. It'll drop.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's a good point, E. I want to get the super chat from Jeff with the $5 super chat. Says Disney one-day ticket is $100, and food and gift shops are gauged high, but people still buy tickets for the experience. Speaking of Disney, thank you for that super chat, Jeff. Speaking of Disney, did you guys see the Disney Starship? The prices for that? Like,
how much is it?
What'd you say, B? B, you're botting there, buddy. All right, I think B's bot will go back to B, but I think for like a family, it's over $1,000, well over $1,000. I think like if I took myself and my kids, like my 3 sons, it'd be like $5,000 for 2 nights.
Absolutely not.
But you
Just
won't do it.
What's that, E?
I said, but you have people that will do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
They didn't make that up just to say, hey, let's see what happens. They sat and they figured that no, there's a group that will do this.
Yeah, I mean it's Disney's Galactic Cruiser. Okay, so it's the hotel will cost $6,000 up to $6,000 for a 2-night stay. Oh my god, that's crazy.
What's included in all of that though?
For real.
Do I still gotta buy food and all that too?
Oh yeah. You know that does. Oh, here we go. All right.
This is not all inclusive.
No, it's definitely not all inclusive. It should be. It should be all
that's
inclusive.
disrespectful. They
So-
also blue box shit. Hell no.
Yo, for that, I'm talking about like Persona, right? They need to have like nightstand, filet mignon, and Cristal. Like every time I
Bro.
wake up, it's just sitting there.
Bro,
Like,
I'm telling you, facts. Yes, they should have like yeah. So okay, here we go. A family of 4 can expect to pay almost $6,000 for a 2-day experience, while families of 3 are looking at $5,299, and 2-person stays start from $4,800. Included in the price are 2 nights in a cabin, all food and soft drinks, valet parking, and entry to Disney Hollywood Studios. Okay, so then it's all inclusive.
all right, yeah, Mac just said too. Yeah, he said that's flight, hotel, food. Okay, see,
All right, see that's a little different because if you take in a family of 4, the flights alone are gonna be about $1,000.
Yeah.
And then, food and all that'll probably come out to about, I mean, that's if you really spending. If you real frugal, we run to the 7-Eleven real quick and, fill up. Like, I'll run to the 7-Eleven real quick. We fill up on some shit. Like,
Get some
hey,
big
yo,
bites.
yes,
man.
get some big bites, get some, a couple liters of soda or whatever. Like, we fill up on some shit. Like, and leave all that in the hotel fridge.
Yep.
And use the ice in the hallway. Listen.
Yeah, we got park pass. We coming back.
Oh yeah.
We going home and
Hey,
coming
what
back.
you want now? Cause I would.
Put
I
some
would
water
be
in
hella
that
frugal.
dipshit.
Facts. I wouldn't even buy water at Disney World. Fuck out of here.
Oh god. So basically, like, you get to like relive sci-fi, like Star Wars. Like, I guess I saw the trailer and they're like the father was dressed up like as a Jedi and like in a robe. He's like, oh, we have to go do something, and I don't know. It sounds cool. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the lightsabers they have for these things. They actually look pretty real.
Oh, yeah, you can make your own lightsaber.
Really?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, Disney's describing it as a part live immersive theater, part themed environment, part culinary extravaganza. What the hell does that mean? Part culinary extravaganza? Oh, maybe it is filet mignon and
Like
Cristal.
Cooking. I was gonna say probably like cooking segments or something like that.
Yeah, this is what they eat on the planet. I can't even think of it. Planet Hoth.
Give you some of that blue milk.
What?
That would be cool though. Like if they had that where you could cook like Star Wars food or something, I would like that. That'd be pretty cool.
What
I would
kind of
enjoy
food
that.
do they eat?
You
What
got
kind of
some
food do they eat in Star
best
Wars?
burritos.
Would you say E?
Some best bin burritos.
Oh my goodness. Let's see what else here. Culinary extravaganza, part real life role playing game, and so much more. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it sounds cool.
Yeah. I ain't paying for that, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay $5,000 though. I don't know. I could buy a new PC with that. Let me stop.
You could
My
buy
kids-
a couple of new PCs with that.
That's a good point there, Slimo.
I could
That's a
buy
great
2
point.
next gen only games with that, man.
Cop
Yeah.
that Madden and pay for the upgrade.
Yeah, right. That sounds like EA's Madden price point
Facts.
with no food. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't tell my kids about this because they'll be like, "Daddy, can you take us to this?" I'll be like, "No." You watch Star Wars on TV and dress up like little Jedis and run around the house. So, all right. I do want to go to some PlayStation news. PlayStation or Sony in particular bought. I can't even talk. They purchased Crunchyroll. Yeah, for what was it? $1 billion, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like roughly 1 billion.
Yeah. And there are rumors out there that Sony may have a PlayStation Plus service that's kind of more of a in a tiered way, where there's a higher tier where it provides you other entertainment experiences with the subscription, plus games. And I think B-Money, I think you talked about that a little bit before in the past, right? Where you thought Sony might do something like this.
It only makes sense, man. Am I still buying?
No, you're good, man.
No, you
You're
sound
on
good
that.
now.
You're good
Okay.
now.
Yeah, it only makes sense to me. You know what I mean? For Sony to wise up and put all their services and products all in one place. You know what I mean? That's one of the easiest ways to build up subscriptions. If they combined everything as far as the PlayStation side and started bringing over some of the other entertainment stuff, like all that stuff would thrive. Like I don't understand what these companies don't get. Gaming is the biggest form of entertainment in the world. So
Yeah.
tap into that market. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I agree. It's well said. And there are rumors out there. There was an article on Push Square that Sony's planning more expensive PlayStation Plus options that again it could include Crunchyroll. And yeah, I think you're onto something here, B. I think with obviously Sony Pictures, music, Sony's got an opportunity to kind of tap into all venues of entertainment, package it with gaming, and I think probably making an attractive subscription package that could be kind of like a one-stop shop for someone. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this, Persona? Do you think Sony's kind of heading that direction with kind of more of an expensive PlayStation Plus option that could include all these, different types of entertainment that Sony provides?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to this is actually a power move by PlayStation, because the fact that PlayStation already owns Funimation Group,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I might be wrong. Somebody in the chat correct me. I think they might own Viz Media as well. I don't think so. I think they do, but I might be wrong. But they do own Funimation Group, and getting this Crunchyroll pull under their belt, excuse me, this definitely puts them in a very strong position when it comes to the anime community, right? So, that's a very, very strong, popular community, and that will definitely pull in a lot of people to PlayStation that aren't, because there's a lot of people that watch anime but don't play games. This can be an attractive way for people to be like, oh, okay, Crunchyroll, they got all this anime, Funimation, it's all in one place. That's a market that now PlayStation is tapping into that doesn't really pertain to video games itself, but is good for the video game brand, because again, bundling PS Plus and all these other great things into one service, that's money coming in from all sides. So I definitely think it's a good thing and a cool thing. In terms of the higher tiered service, I agree. I do think that it would be cool for PlayStation to have like an all-in-one type of service that, obviously it's gonna probably be like 200 for the year or something like that. I would definitely support that 100%. And I can see them definitely doing that. Like, it seems like they're positioning themselves to do that because they're beefing up PS Now even more, right? PS Now's got 900 games. Then you got PS Plus that's getting some great games every month. Then you got the anime community, and you got all these great things with Crunchyroll and Funimation. It's a no-brainer. It's gonna print
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
No,
Doesn't
I agree with
Sony
that.
own some kind of Netflix kind of service? Is it Crackle? Is that still a thing? Is Crackle?
I think so. I gotta look that up, man. That's a
I
great
feel
point.
like Sony owned that, or at least they used to own it. I don't even know if it's still in. I know a coworker of mine used to like swear by Crackle. Like all he watched, all he had was like really really old TV shows that like you would catch on like TBS or something. But I wonder if like
It's not owned by
take something
Sony.
like that. It's not owned by Sony. Okay,
No.
maybe
they
it
sold
used
it.
to be or something. They
Yeah,
sold
it
it.
got
Okay.
sold off. Yeah.
But like I could see them taking like you would have your base tier PlayStation Plus, which is essentially what you're getting right now, and then like have a premium PlayStation Plus tier where you have access to the so like if you know what HBO Max is doing right now, HBO Max, if you subscribe to that, you actually have access to Crunchyroll, a whole bunch of other little smaller like streaming services that really couldn't survive on their own, but some like a good like probably the most popular content off of their services is available through HBO Max. So it's like HBO Max is the hub and they're the spokes, so to speak. So I wonder if they could do something like that where if you're not into anime, so like let's say Crunchyroll doesn't really appeal to you because you don't really care about anime, but if they got a lot of the Sony Pictures properties, like the older stuff that you can stream to your heart's content through a PlayStation, um, that might entice you if you're into the Spider-Man movies, you're into kind of that Marvel kind of stuff. If you're into whatever else that they are currently making, and what if potentially could have, say, like 30 days after Sony Pictures movies go into the theater, it shows up in that service. That could be like a potential draw for people to pick that up.
That's a great point, Slimo. Let me ask you something too, kind of build off that point, Slimo. Do you think that a higher tier would maybe yield first party games day and date in a service
No,
like that?
they're not
No,
doing
you,
that.
you still don't think they'll do
No,
that?
they are not at this current point in time. Every single time this has been brought up, they've always restated their point that they don't feel that's the best value for their first party games. That they spend a certain amount of money and they want to make sure they get the return on investment of that money, and they don't feel doing a subscription service and the long-term investment and the reoccurring revenue that comes with that is equal to what they make off of the traditional selling games model. And so they have a very different approach to that than Xbox and Microsoft have. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon unless there's something with Game Pass proves otherwise, and so far it hasn't. So yeah, it's just not going to change for them.
Plus, their games sell. Like, like they don't have to do that.
Yeah, they don't need to do that. Yeah.
What Sony should do is get with all the other like mid-tier developers. Like, you go get everything that Deep Silver does, or go get everything that THQ Nordic does. And if you want to have content that's going to be there day and date, lock all that stuff up. You know what I mean? When the next whatever game comes out, Kingdom Come, or whenever you know what I mean, Saints Row comes out, or whatever. Like, whenever those like mid-tier games come out, similar to Outriders, like when it's got a little hype behind it, throw that in there. Have that be your day and date game. They don't, you know what I mean? If they feel so strongly about their first party stuff, that's great. You know what I mean? Their product does sell. But if you want to, continue to build relationships with, these other, third party and second party developers, throw that content in there. You know what I mean? Like, even with their first party stuff, like even with Ratchet and Clank, it only sold like a million copies. You know what I mean? Ratchet and Clank is a household name. It only sold 1 million copies. You know what I mean? So when you can get other stuff in there, you know what I mean, to help build out that platform, why not go for all the mid-tier stuff? You ain't got to pay a lot of money probably to get it in there. Well, and it's brand new content.
I think one thing to keep in mind with Ratchet and Clank is, Ratchet and Clank is a next gen only title that, and when we look at the next gen consoles of PlayStation, they're at only 10 million, right? And at the time of Ratchet's release, probably 9 million or something like that, right? When you look at the attach rate and percentages, that's 10% of that community that bought that game. That's pretty good. That's a fresh community.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that last part, Persona. What was it again? With the you said 1 million people bought Ratchet.
Yeah, no, because 1 million people bought Ratchet.
Yeah,
and I'm saying that's 10% of the community, because we're only dealing with next gen PS5s only.
Yeah, and
it's 10 million in the wild. 10% of PlayStation 5 owners own or have played or supported Ratchet and Clank. That's pretty good. That's a solid number.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, Persona, because I forget who told us this. It was I think it was Matt from MPD had mentioned to us one time that if a first party game sells like 7% of the install base, that's actually considered pretty successful by industry standards. So, 10%, like you said, is not bad, right? Considering how small the base is, and eventually that game, as more people buy PlayStation 5s, and you got to imagine Sony may release that game on PC as well. I mean, it's still going to sell more copies, right? As people start picking up the consoles, and I know it's interesting because I've heard some content creators more recently kind of been critical of the fact that Sony doesn't have a big first party release this fall. And look, I was bummed out by the delay of Horizon Forbidden West, but at the same token, if you're new or if you could get your hands on a PS5, there's still a lot of content to play that's available right now. Even if you currently own a PS5, there's some games if you haven't gotten to them, there's some good exclusive content to play there as well, like Returnal. If you haven't played that, we know Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut with new content's coming out. I know it's not a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but it's content nevertheless. So, I think that eventually, to my point with Ratchet Clank, I think that more people are going to eventually play that game. It's the showpiece of the PlayStation 5 right now. I just actually beat it this week, and it was definitely the best looking game I've played this generation so far, and felt like a real like next generation game. Like I know we all talk about the SSD of the PlayStation 5, but when you go through that portal, whatever, to get to another world, how like instantaneous that loads up, I was blown away. Actually, King Thrash reminded me, Kenna, Death Stranding. What's the other one that's coming out for? Is it Ghostwire Tokyo? Is that the other one?
Deathloop.
That's not coming out this year. Deathloop.
No,
They got
Deathloop.
pushed
I'm
back.
sorry, Deathloop. Yeah,
Yeah.
Deathloop's
There's still
coming out.
there's
Yeah,
still
so that's
some really
right. I
great
forgot about
titles
those.
coming out.
Yeah, I forgot about
And
those
then
titles.
Fist comes out in September as well. Between now and September, in the end of September, there's a lot of great games coming out that you can play on PlayStation platforms. But I think for a lot of people, they want that wow factor, right? They want that PlayStation fragrance, that, oh my God, this is such a great game, kind of like what we got with Miles Morales, Returnal, and things like that. And the game that can really provide that is Horizon Forbidden West. That's what people want. And the fact that we don't know the date for that and the speculation of it being delayed, that's got a lot of people bummed out of like, oh, well, that's it for PlayStation this year. And it's like, granted, I want Horizon as well, but, don't overlook some of these other great titles coming out. There's some really good titles coming out for PlayStation.
Yeah,
I want
I agree.
Horizon, but I don't want Horizon to the detriment of the game's polish and quality. I don't want it. Because you don't have a first party game coming out for the rest of the year. You need to have Horizon right now, but what if the game's just not ready? Then if it's not ready, then it's not ready. It doesn't matter what you have coming out this year. It didn't matter if they had timed exclusives or not. You don't rush a game. That should just never be happening from any publisher or platform holder, period. So if the game's not ready, don't force Guerrilla to have it out now. And I don't think that's the case with them. I think that if it needs to be delayed, it will be delayed. If it needs that post-production process, that polish to be added, so that people aren't wondering man, the story was actually going pretty good, but then Aloy's head just disappeared. And that, the game was going great, but I saved my game, and then I came back the next day, and none of the progress I did yesterday is there anymore. We've seen that happen in multiple games in the past 2 or 3 years. So these are the kind of things that you don't want to happen, but these are the kind of things that happen when games are rushed to launch. And so, just delay it if it needs it. I want it to be its very best when it comes out. I don't need it this year, period. So, and those are people who just are this, well, PlayStation is dry. I don't understand how people are saying PlayStation is dry, and these are the same people that were hyping up multi-platform Xboxes for years. How dry? How? Like we mentioned before, there's Deathloop, there's Kena, Bridge of Spirits, there's Fist. There are games that you're not going to be able to play on Xbox that are coming out on PlayStation. So dry how? Because if you're speaking this kind of talk now, but a year or two ago you were talking about how it doesn't matter, and Red Dead, how Red Dead is 4K on my Xbox One X, you looking kind of funny right now.
Real quick,
the same people that say it's collecting dust.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Same
Look, honestly,
same people crying about space, but they say it's collecting dust.
Savage.
Those two don't go together. I'm if it's collecting dust, what you need all that space for? Just saying. I mean, am I making too much sense?
You're making way too much.
Perfect sense.
My PS5's collecting dust, but that I want.
I need that SSD.
I need that
so it can
SSD.
sit and collect dust. Anyway, carry on, Enrique. Sorry about it.
That's good.
My
You're
bad,
making
dog.
too much sense, man. No, but I forgot my point. I forgot what I was gonna say now because I'm sitting here laughing. Oh god, I really did forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'll
But,
say this. I don't have that
man.
problem. I never understand that whole. Again, to each his own. I come with a disclaimer, but when people's like it's dry out here, I'm like, I'm
Not
drowning.
me.
I'm backlogged.
Well,
I
it's
ain't
not
got enough
it's
time,
not that
man.
Pay
it's
your
dry.
water
I think
bill.
it's. I was gonna say I don't think it's dry. I think people's taste in gaming is so limited that they think it's dry.
Yeah.
You taste it dry, right? There's a lot of great games out here, right? A lot of great
Oh, it's a lot
indies,
of
a lot
great
of great
stuff, yeah.
third party. Like one game that I'm like super excited about is Tales of Arise, right? That comes
Yeah,
out
me
in
too.
September.
Yeah.
I'm fiending for that. The
Ooh,
demo
does that come out
comes out
September?
next week. Yeah, September 10th.
Oh, don't tell me that.
I'm fiending for that, right? Like, I
Yeah.
can't wait to play the demo next week, right? Again, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, which is giving you an entirely new island edition, Iki Island, right? And they're giving you a brand new multiplayer mode with Rivals mode, which is kind of like Gambit from
But-
Destiny.
But they're charging you for upgrades. They're charging you for
uh,
haptic feedback.
It's stuff
I
out
can't
here,
do the voice that you do, person. I can't do it as you do, as good as you.
They're charging
Nah,
you for
I
the
think-
upgrades. This is unacceptable. Like, all that, all that stuff, right? Like, it's crazy, man. And then you got Fist, you got Lost Judgment, you got Tales of Arise, Deathloop, you got Far Cry, Battlefield. Like, there's something out here for
That's a
everyone.
great point. That's a great
Like,
point.
there really is.
Like, Persona for us. Like, if it's not like first party, AAA, mega budget, it ain't worth looking at.
Right.
But whose
And-
fault
and-
is that,
and
though?
that's
When you
these
really think
people-
about it, whose fault is
That's
that?
these people who are so caught up in console war stuff. So people who are so far caught up in whatever the hype game is, they're hype beasts. Like
Yep.
they follow only the stuff that gets hyped up, and then they see YouTube videos being made about, or see people talking or arguing about on Twitter. They don't even know about some of these other games. I see a game, I get excited about it. I make videos on it. I can't wait to play that game. Then the game comes out, and people after other people are saying, "Oh, bro, this game's actually pretty good." Then people jump on the, I'm talking about Death's Door, basically. I'm talking about Death's
Right.
Door. I'm talking about Genshin Impact. I'm talking about Splitgate. All these games that have been out there or have been out there to talk about and to be excited about, and people waited until it blew up for them to go, "Oh, man, I didn't even know this was here. Why didn't you know that was coming?" It's been out there to look at and to get excited for, and you waited until your favorite YouTuber talked about it.
Right.
That's why I sing the praises of Tribes of Midgard, man. Like, it's a really great game that I really want more people to get into because
That's on my list. I gotta
great game.
finish up some stuff first. I need to finish up my second run of Scarlet Nexus and some other games. But yeah, that's on my list to check out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great games coming out here, but it's the whole thing of, it's the whole thing of people that are talking about gaming and people that are playing games, right? Because people can talk about games all they want, but I think when it comes to actually playing games, that's what's most important, because when somebody pulls your card, or when you want to show proof, yeah, there's proof that I'm actually playing games here. Like, look, I'm playing games, right? The problem with this community is that there's a lot of people that are talking about games but aren't playing games, and it's very prevalent in how they speak about gaming. Oh, there's nothing out here. This is trash. That's trash. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in it. Well, what the fuck do you play? What do you play? Like, what are you playing, man? Like, you're not interested in
Hey,
nothing.
the timeline,
What are you
Persona.
playing?
Persona.
The leaderboard on that
Twitter.
timeline, baby.
That's
I
the
got
truth, though, Eric.
I got a
That's the truth.
platinum trophy in Twitter. That's all I play. We got a super chat from Paradoxer77. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Any thoughts on Life is Strange True Colors? You know
No
what?
thoughts
I'll
here.
let someone else speak before I say what I got to say. I think
I'm a
Paradox
big
are probably
fan.
not going to be pretty happy about my thoughts on it. Go ahead, Persona.
I'm a big fan of Life is Strange, man, and it's funny because
Love the
I
first
wasn't
one.
really into those like Telltale type of games back during. Like I got into those games during PS4 because PS3 I was all about the shooters, man. Like I thought everything was just like, yo, man, I'm all about COD. That's when I was trying to go pro. I was doing a lot of game battles. Like I was really like
Double
super into
kill.
like. So Life is Strange is great. I don't think Life is Strange 2 is that great in my opinion, but Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange Before the Storm, great games. Life is Strange True Colors looks like they're going kind of like a back to basics thing, where like they got these cool powers and it looks like an interesting story. So I'm interested.
Here's my issue with Don't Nod, and that's the developer for these games. Don't Nod is great at setting up a stage. They're great at world building. They build the world. They build very complex characters. No one is one dimensional. I love that. And they give them interesting powers and put them in a setting where you see a lot of like real world influences, the things that we see in our day-to-day lives playing out within the game. And it's amazing. My problem with Don't Nod is that somewhere in the middle of these episodes, it falls off a cliff. It's just like somewhere in the middle, it's just like, bro, what's happening here? Or at the end, the ending kind of gives you goes like these are my choices. These are the choices of my endings here. I save my friend. Everybody dies. I let my friend die. Everyone, this is my choice. Really? Like it's stuff like that. The ending to Life is Strange 2, like how do you have 6 different endings and they all suck? Like they all are bad. It's just like, why? I mean, can I avoid jail at all? There's no chance for me to avoid. Okay, if I avoid jail, like everyone's dead too. Okay, it's just like, why is it like this? And another issue I have with Life is Strange 2 is that, and I know I'm going to get deep into a rabbit hole, but it almost seems like, and I said this too about my friend Ash and Luca. Shout out to Luca, and she kind of agrees with me here, where we kind of feel like there's like 2 different narrative teams. Like, because they make so many different games, and it feels like there's the A1 team that builds the story, builds the characters, hits you with that first episode. The first episode of Life is Strange 2 got nominated at the Video Game Awards. It was amazing, but it's just like it fell off a cliff after that. Yeah. And it's just like they build everything, then the B team comes in and tries to finish the story out, but like they didn't build the characters, they didn't build the world, they don't know what they're doing, and it shows. And that's like my real issues with it. Like I really enjoyed Life is Strange until the end. Before the Storm, I thought it was a little iffy, but that really wasn't even made by Don't Nod anyway. That was made, they outsourced that to a different studio. Life is Strange 2, first 2 episodes, amazing. After that, I don't know what the hell was wrong with them. They just decided we're gonna do a cult thing. Like why are we in a cult now? What's going? When did this happen? Why is this happening? Don't know. Don't care. It's just like why. So I passed on the one that's the Xbox exclusive. I forgot the name of it.
Tell me why.
Tell me, Here They Lie, something like that. Lie something.
No. Eric, it's called Tell Me Why. I passed on that one because I'm sick of the Don't Nod okie doke. So I'm just like I don't want to get invested, and I'm enjoying it, and then bam, it's like my bad. All these characters are gonna start acting out of character. We're gonna start introducing people you don't even know. Here you go. Like I don't want to deal with it, but then True Colors does look good. So I think I might actually try True Colors, but I'm kind of leery because I don't want to get disappointed again,
Yeah. Real quick, I'm gonna grab this super chat from Alex. Is a Valve?
Alex is a Valve.
Thank you. Alex is a Valve. Thank you for that, Slimo. You guys are awesome and spit facts. Let's go. Thank you for that $2.79 super chat. Appreciate it. And by the way, since we are awesome,
oddly specific super chat.
Yeah, $2.79.
Yeah,
oddly like Wow.
Since you guys think we're awesome, please hit that like button. We have over 160 people here watching right now, so please show us some love. Hit that like button. We got 4 dislikes, but we don't care because it feeds the algorithm anyway. So you're not doing anything to harm us. I do want to move on to Xbox Gamescom. Xbox is planning a big show, and they're gonna pretty much kind of have the stage for themselves for the most part as they have more recently with previous Gamescoms. So I don't know, guys. Like a couple things here, real quick. I know they're gonna talk about some games, unannounced games, or give us updates on some games. I see some people thinking they're gonna drop a megaton. I don't think they're gonna drop a megaton. I could be wrong, but I don't see that.
Didn't they
happening.
already come out and say that they weren't going to do any new
actually,
announcements or anything? I'm glad. I love to see this now from these platform holders and publishers where they temper expectations. They tell you exactly what not to expect so that you don't go into it thinking, oh man, I can't wait to see Factions 2. And then Factions 2 don't show up, and then like everything, even if it was fire or not, you're just like, man, I ain't get Factions 2. It was trash. It's just like,
let me actually before I misquote, they basically tweeted, they basically put out the statement, we're gonna get an in-depth update from some of their previously announced Xbox Game Studio titles along with some of their third-party partners, including some incredible titles coming to Xbox this holiday, upcoming releases to our monthly subscription service, Xbox Game Pass, and much more. So probably no megatons, just stuff that they're going to update us on. I'm guessing maybe we see Crossfire X. I know that's something they haven't talked about in a while. Maybe we see that weird-looking game, Scorn. That's just an odd-looking game for me.
I'm expecting Crossfire X to get delayed again.
You think so?
It was supposed to come out this year. It got delayed into this year.
Yeah,
we haven't even
on the summer.
Right. Summer's almost over. Ain't no way it's gonna be like, and Crossfire X is out right now. They're not gonna stealth launch that. Nah, if it was supposed to, like, we either getting a delay into like holiday or it's coming out next year. And I also kind of feel like they're gonna finally do the Halo Infinite release date.
What about Halo Infinite? What about an update on Halo? Well, I think they'll probably announce another. What do they call it? Not beta, but what was it called? Flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably announce another one for multiplayer, and then I don't know. I think this might be a good opportunity for them to. You mentioned release day, Slow-Mo. Maybe a good opportunity for them to talk a little bit more about the campaign, because we haven't seen anything campaign related per se, and maybe they kind of dive into that a little bit more. Someone.
Well, I mean, they did at the Xbox at the showcase. They did do a little trailer and kind of tease some stuff for the new AI and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they kind of want to keep the campaign stuff as close to the vest as possible and just do more of the multiplayer that people have been enjoying.
Yeah.
I do think I do think that the people, we should definitely see that campaign, because that's really what sparked this entire delay to begin with. So I think the people need to see the improvements of what's been changed, what's being made, how the development is going with that. You can sit in a room and talk about, oh yeah, development's going great. I'm all about actions. I'm all about the tangible. You can say whatever you want, and that's fine. I hear you, but I want to see how great this is going along, because those are what sparked the Craig memes and all these jokes and stuff now that are still being utilized to this day, right? And the Halo multiplayer looks cool, and that's really where I'm most excited as well. But the campaign is still something that I personally want to see, and see where the updates are with that. And the people need to see that. They need to see that. And I think Gamescom is a good place for them to, they got the stage all to themselves, and they could dedicate some good time to Halo and kind of make it like a Halo experience where it's like, 5 or 10 minutes dedicated to a little bit more multiplayer, talking about what betas they may have or whatever case may be. But I think 5 minutes or more need to be dedicated to the campaign, showing some gameplay, and giving some type of update.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree with that, Prasad. I think they got to show something here with Halo, man, for sure.
I think at the very least we're getting a release date. I don't think you can go into September without a release date for Halo Infinite. I think they've been trying to hold out for Activision and Call of Duty, but with Activision's issues with Blizzard and their PR right now, I don't think they want to even do a reveal of the next Call of Duty with the way that people feel about them at the moment, even though like the core audience of Call of Duty doesn't care about anything that's going on with them internally. But I think they've been kind of trying to hold out because they want to know Call of Duty's release date before they do their release date. But there comes a point in time where there's like a point of no return. Just like if they're not showing anything and they're not going to talk about anything, you need to get the ball rolling on your marketing and your things and letting people know when you're going to release your game. So I think they're going to that's the final straw when it comes to that.
Do you any chance you all think that, because I know Activision's been quiet with Call of Duty, like there's no announcements or anything like that. Any chance you see them maybe stepping on Microsoft's stage and announcing Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty?
On Microsoft stage?
No.
Because Sony has the marketing. So
Does Sony still have that? Okay.
If they do any kind of announcement that's on a platform stage, it's going to be on PlayStation State of Play or something like that.
Yeah, that whole Call of Duty thing is going to be interesting because you got. I mean, at some point, and I get you're going through 2 lawsuits right now, trying to get their house in order. They probably would. I would imagine maybe even at Gamescom, maybe they do their own announcement there. Do you think that Activision does the announcement at Gamescom and finally reveals Call of Duty then? But again, not on Microsoft stage.
It's definitely possible. I don't know why. One, I do definitely think a Call of Duty is coming out this year. I've seen some rumblings of people think, well, maybe they're not even planning on doing a Call of Duty this year. Like, nah. Activision relies on that Call of Duty revenue. That's a lot of money coming in on an annual basis. They're going to get another Call of Duty out. That said, I think they are kind of like holding off based off of everything that's going on, but I think it's kind of unnecessary. Now, I'm not saying like heads shouldn't roll at Activision and Blizzard, because absolutely heads should be rolling right now based off of everything that's been going on with them. Allegedly, I always gotta add allegedly, right? But like all that stuff, like that needs to be addressed and it needs to be dealt with seriously. Regardless of that, the people who buy Call of Duty, the vast majority of them don't even know what's going on. They're not as tuned into gaming news and the stuff that goes on that we are. Even though we think we're a huge community and you think a lot, because a lot of people on Twitter are talking about something, that's a very small percentage of overall gaming. And overall gaming, like Call of Duty is top of the list of sales every single year. The majority of people who play those games couldn't even tell you who the publisher is of the game, couldn't tell you about any of this information, don't even know what a blizzard is. So they think you're talking about the weather. So like they have there are zero concerns about anything that's going on at this company internally. And if they were even aware, I doubt they would stop buying the game anyway. So like they should just go forward with whatever plans, show it, release it, deal with the PR backlash that will be inevitably come regardless of when they do this, and just get it started, man. Get it going.
Yeah, I agree with your point there, Slimmo, where most casuals probably aren't aware of what's going on. And this game's probably going to sell very well, whenever it releases, because, like you said, people just aren't aware. They're not in tune with some of the legal challenges that are facing Activision. And we know, like, Activision they've lost some sponsors. I think some pretty big corporate sponsors. I think Coca-Cola might be one, if I remember correctly. And I know we said Sony,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Sony still has the marketing for this game, right? Do you guys see? If this thing starts getting worse for Activision, do you guys think that Sony's like, hey, you know what? We don't want to be associated with that brand per se. No.
Nope. Money. That's all It needs to be said.
Money is the end all be all.
Yep.
They ain't walking away from that.
They ain't walked away. If this was okay, here's a great example of why when money isn't as long that that things would be different. Remember all of the political backlash, or not political, but all the PR backlash that Quantic Dream got when the allegations came out of what was happening there, and how quickly Sony distanced themselves away from Quantic Dream.
They did,
who
yeah.
they've been
They
working
did, yeah.
with exclusively for a decade. But you know, we found out that Detroit Become Human was their best-selling game, and I think it only sold like 3 or 4 million. You see, that was a good exclusive. You're getting good exclusives from that studio, but they weren't like system sellers. They weren't massive sellers. They weren't drawing a massive amount of revenue for you. It's very different than Call of Duty, which you're paying for the ability to market that to. When those commercials come out for Call of Duty, it says PlayStation at the end. It don't say and Xbox and PC or Steam and whatever else. It says that PlayStation at the end, because there are a lot of people who aren't tuned into the stuff that we are tuned into and will automatically assume I gotta play this on PlayStation, as if it's nowhere else. But that works. That's marketing. And with the biggest game that comes out on an annual basis, they're not passing up that revenue either. This is why the Call of Duty is definitely coming out this year. This is what the Activision, when they do their investor calls, this is what their investors are banking on. This is what they invested for, to make money off of this. And this is the reason why they do it annually, because it's going to sell to the same people every single year annually. Can you imagine EA not doing a FIFA or Madden? No. Like
I could. Yeah, no one could, right?
Doesn't matter what happened
money.
internally at EA.
On the table.
Yeah, they're going to drop another Madden with the most minimalist of upgrades possible. 2K with NBA 2K. Can you imagine them not dropping a 2K 2022? No. It doesn't matter what happens. They're still dropping that game. So, like, look, there's too much money tied up into this stuff. Sony's definitely not distancing themselves away from this over something that, you know, even though publicly they're going to have all these great words that their publicists came up with for them to say and posted on their Twitter accounts, privately, they already counting the money they're going to make off of this. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the way they kind of look at it, and it's kind of crazy to say, but they say, "Oh, a bone flew out your closet." Okay, and you weather the storm. You continue on, and that's crazy. It had to be something majorly egregious for a company, for a partnership to like end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and come on, I mean, like you said, someone you named Quantic Dream, Sony's gonna continue rocking it with Activision on the Call of Duty, because, like they said, for the majority. Unless it's something that the drum is being beat like every night on like MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, most people won't even hear about it. You know, we're the ones that dissect this stuff day in and day out. And guess what? We've been saying it over and over. We're not the majority of who they got a whole like fan base or a whole base to sell to. That's bigger than our little corner. And they're going to continue on as if, you know? So, and then again, on the other side of that, Ubisoft had stuff that they were going through that didn't stop Microsoft partnerships, right?
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
They're like, holler that shit up,
right?
They said, well, they said that they said people went to classes, and then the other ones got slapped on the hand. So what you want us to do?
People with the classes. That's facts, man. They got sensitivity training classes.
Yeah, they went to sensitivity training. You know, they got hit on the face with a newspaper when they pissed on the rug. It's like, you know? Well, yeah, one thing has nothing to do with the other. It's like clean up your yard.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of like that kind of thing. It's like, you know, your house can be immaculate. Your neighbor's house looks like shit. It's the reality. It's like, what can you do about it?
Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, it's, you know, this. I said this. You know, Jaffe and I talked about Activision last weekend, this past Sunday. He thinks the CEO. He thinks Bobby Kotick's got to go too. I think so too. I agree with him on that. I think CEO's got to go. They really need to clean house.
Yo,
really
for
need
real,
to clean house.
you can't get. How much was that bonus?
I think he made $150 million last year.
Yeah, you can't get that bonus and then act like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
he knew.
Dog.
He doesn't care though because the fucking money's coming in. He doesn't care. He's like, you know what? As long as the money's coming in, I'm untouchable.
I mean, yeah.
So, I do want to.
Getting kind of late, and I think that
Yeah.
next week they tease it. 'Cause Call of Duty
I
is
think so
always
too, man.
has been infamous for you know what I mean, doing a campaign first, and then they hit us with the multiplayer at the next major event. I think they tease us next week with whatever the campaign is going to be, and then at Jeff Keighley's show, we see the multiplayer.
Yeah, I would agree with that, B. I think you're right, man. Sorry, guys, reading the chat here. I just lost my train of thought. I need, you know what, Slobo, I need that monster that you're drinking, man. Just
You got
you
one
know what?
before you
Say-
start the show, man.
No. You don't need an energy drink, man. You need that. What's that shit they have? Like they advertise on TV, like the memory loss shit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about for old people. No, that's what Optimus Code takes.
You mean the commercials where they have like 20 side effects at the end of the commercial?
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
all
yeah.
smiling and
Trying to throw
happy.
code under the bus. Code snappy.
One of the commercials where it starts off, "Are you feeling confused?
Yes, that's it.
Are
Yeah.
you
Right.
lost?
Yeah. Do
You
you feel
forget
lost?
where you are sometimes."
Enrique trying to deflect our man Code. Code goes on his morning mall walk. Don't be trying Code like that, man.
Yeah, Code. Code's got arthritis.
Oh man, Unc with it, man. He's snappy.
No, you know what it was?
He's old, but he's sharp.
Exactly.
I don't know about that.
Unlike
Hey,
you, who are middle aged, and the knife is dulling. Okay.
Hey, that is slander. No, but you know what?
Oh,
You know what happened was I was reading the chat and then someone said, I saw what someone said to you, Slomo, and that's what got me that's what got my attention away from.
Yeah, that silliness, man.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
what
why
is that nonsense?
It ain't worth addressing on air. I just addressed it in the chat and kept it moving. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of keeping
Somebody
it
brought up
moving,
a good point in the chat. They said, "Where's Forte? He's quiet."
Forte's because he's playing a first person shooter. He's trying to get his skills up
playing
to par. Slow mo.
No, Forte's
Oh
sitting right
my
here, just
God.
listening.
There he is. What up, Forte?
There he is.
Been here
There's
the whole
Forte.
time.
So Forte, let me ask you a question, Forte.
What's up?
What do you think about Doctor's Disrespect starting up a game studio?
Freaking great. He was already a developer. Maybe he can bring some new, fresh ideas to a genre that's kind of been samey for the last couple of years.
He was I believe he was a level designer for Activision,
Sure
right?
was. He
Yeah.
actually,
He designed the level in Rogue Company.
Yeah, his
last
level
year.
in Fortnite, he designed it.
All right.
So it's always a good thing to get more ideas. Maybe on the esports side of it, he can bring some more concepts and other ideas to actually brighten up that side of the industry. But you know, it's going to be a while until that happens. You know, he's just starting, so you probably won't see something from that studio for like 4 to 5 years.
yeah, he's talking about starting up a new AA, AAA game studio, and
I'm
he's
more
looking-
interested in the people that he's going to bring along and actually appoint to be a part of that idea than the game itself at this point.
I thought also something that said like he was trying to work with other content creators.
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. He's
I
trying.
don't know. I mean, like, look, content creators are like they are very good at what they do and being entertaining. Either really entertaining that a lot of people watch them, or they're really good at a particular kind of game, and that's what people watch them. But being good at a game isn't the same as developing a game. Like, it's a different set of skills. Now, I know that Dr. Disrespect has those skills because he did this before, but unless he's getting other people who actually are, like, say, similar in skill set to he is, then I don't see how, like, what the purpose of that is. I guess I'll have to see more of whenever they finally, like, reveal what they're going to do before I can really give a full take.
It really comes. It just because of what what kind of game he's trying to build. I mean, having content creators a part of the idea of how you want especially if it's a shooter games that he's like really into. If those are the games he's going after, getting ideas from the esport community, content creators and stuff, the ones that, not just the ones that are really good at it, but the ones that really know how to hold an audience and captivate people that watch them by just playing a game. That's probably the idea they're really, really, truly going after, because I think at a certain point when it comes to like esports and stuff that he does, it's more about the show than it is the game, honestly. So maybe having ways to integrate features in the game for like shoutcasting and stuff like that. I think that's where he's probably going to go with that. But then I also know he really wants to make a shoot, like not just any everyman shooter. He wants to make that top of the top, creme de la creme type shooter that, a lot of people just want to gravitate to when it comes to competitiveness and stuff.
We started thinking about how Twitch content creators really helped Apex Legends blow up the way it did, because that game was stealth launched, like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did come out of nowhere. Yeah, it's a great point.
They had no traditional marketing ramp up, but did you notice almost immediately when the game was revealed and said you can now, like, people are going to be playing it now, all the biggest streamers on Twitch were already had the game and were already playing it.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's if he's doing something like that where he's getting like big streamers like Myth, Shroud, guys like that like attract thousands of people whenever they do a stream and they play all these kind of games all the time. If he's already getting them on board to whenever he gets this game out, they're immediately playing it. That's half the battle right there. You look at Splitgate. Splitgate's a game that 3 months ago had less than 1,000 people playing it concurrently on average on Steam, and then it started to blow, and they did crossplay. They put it on consoles. When the game really started to get to the point where they were maxing out server capacity on a daily basis, is when the big streamers picked it up. When they picked it up and started playing it, that's when it was the sky's the limit. So that's really for these kind of games. If it's a competitive game, if it's a PvP game, you want to get the streaming community involved, because once they get involved, they influence what their audience plays.
Word of mouth, yeah, that's a great point, Slow-Mo. Yeah, that's a great point, man. You think about Apex Legends, it did drop stuff, came out of nowhere, and then just blew up. Absolutely right.
It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, look, I think he's done this before. I think that's obviously the leg up that he has right now, being a level designer for Call of Duty. And then I think some of you also mentioned he did a level design for Apex Legends. So yeah, hopefully he can bring some something new to the.
It was Rogue
the
Company,
genre.
not
Rogue Company. I'm sorry.
He did a level
Company.
on Rogue Company. It's a decent level. I like it. It's not the best, but it's all right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. But like Forte said, we're probably years out, seeing what he actually puts together, and like you said, he just started hiring for. I think right now he's actually looking for a studio lead, for his new studio. So, but gentlemen, it is it's not 11 yet, but I'm out of topics. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. I do want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. And please, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live.
It was a super chat.
Oh, I missed a super chat. Oh, I did miss a super chat.
Yeah, from Paradox.
Oh, here we go. Paradox 77 with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Paradox. Says, y'all toxic. Your favorite Halo Infinite weapons. I didn't play the Infinite beta, but go ahead, Slow-Mo and Forte, and I think B, you played it. Persona? E.
Oh no, I didn't get in.
My favorite weapon is
in
the technical preview was the Commando. That was my favorite.
Sidekick, hand cannon, sidearm all day. That was my favorite.
Nice. All right. Well, hopefully we the rest of us get into the next beta they have, because I definitely want to give this game try this game out. So, but yeah, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. And want to give a big shout out to Persona, who joined us this evening. Persona, man, always a pleasure. And please let everyone know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, man. First off, I want to say thank you to you, Brat, for bringing me on the show. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all definitely subscribe, hit the like button. And for me, man, I am Persona. Gaming with Persona is my YouTube channel. My Twitter is @Persona Speaks. And I also do a podcast every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. PlayStation Central podcast called What's Up PlayStation with myself and Bari. So definitely check that out if you haven't. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you all have a great night. Please be safe.
Absolutely, man. And love the podcast with you and Bari, man. You guys are great, man. You
Thank
really
you,
are.
man. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it. Thank
no, you really are. And like I said, man, like I love the perspective with the SSD that you brought, man. I was like, yes, finally, someone talking sense. Thank you, Persona, for
man.
that. Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Also, we got my man Eric Jackson, EJ, man. Always a pleasure, bro. Let everyone know can find you, man.
Yeah, it was good to be back. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, missed you guys, so good to be back, and definitely good to have Persona on, man. Always like chopping it up with him. One of the
Likewise.
cool dudes around the community, man. Definitely
Absolutely.
follow my bro. But yeah, good show, guys. Good show. You can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X, and on Tuesday nights, The Gaming Perspective at 8:00.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And we got my man Slomo Backslap. Slomo, always a pleasure, sir. Let everyone know they can find you.
Yeah, before I do that, I did want
Yes,
to
sir.
bring something up, and this is probably going to be a little bit of some people may rub some people the wrong way, but I don't care. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I just had to have a like knockdown, drag out argument with my children's private schools administration about wearing masks in schools. My children, two of my children go back to school next week, and they were not mandating that masks be worn in school, even though it's a private school, but the county that they are in, Charles County, where the school is or resides, was for the public schools is mandating masks, but they weren't. And the fact that we had to do all that just to get them to mandate to put a mask on is still troubling, considering what's going on out here right now. The homie Persona said for everyone to be safe. I'm gonna go a step further and say be safe, and just like wearing a mask isn't going to kill you. Just do what's necessary so that we can kind of get past all of this, because people are dying, and even though maybe someone that you know personally didn't die, that doesn't change the fact that it's still happening. So just wanted to get that out there because it's just been on my mind all day. All that said,
Well said, man.
Persona, thank you. Persona,
what's up, man?
glad to have you on the show, bro. Good to see you again as always. Let's see. DPS podcast tomorrow on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, with my homie here, Gaming Forte. He's gonna bring us some good takes, y'all. I'm messing with Forte when I say
Wow.
he's had good takes. I was messing with him earlier, but we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna have a good show tomorrow. Again, check us out on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, and shoot, play games, y'all. There's too many games out here that
Yes.
that are not AAA games, but they're good games. So play them.
Some
Have
good
fun,
games
man.
out there.
It's what the hobby's about.
Yo, play
That's all I
that
got.
Death's Door, man. Death's Door is fire.
Death's Door's
Right.
pretty good. Yeah, Death's
That's
Door's
gonna be a
good.
Game of the Year nominee. I bet. I'm telling you right now.
It should be. It's
Guaranteed.
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
mine right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a great game. That's a great point, Slimo, man. Appreciate that, man. And we got my man B Money 101 B. Let everyone know they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. You can find me at the same name, B Money 101, everywhere. Wanna shout Persona for coming through, man. So you guys know I don't really like fanboy content, and what's up PlayStation podcast that they put on. It's all PlayStation centric. You know what I mean? No fanboy nonsense. You know what I mean? It's great content. So if you're into PlayStation or want to hear people talk about PlayStation, you know what I mean? Definitely check those guys out. But other than that, man, we see y'all boys next week.
All right, man. No doubt, B. I mean, last but not least, we got Gaming Forte, who was, I I don't know, brought a lot of energy at the beginning, and then I don't know. I think Slow-Mo bodied him, and he kind of faded a little bit there at the end.
Yep. Slow-Mo put me to sleep, y'all. I was like Nate Robinson.
Hey, I don't like the way that's found at all.
Yep, I was like
not.
Nate Robinson, booty all up in the air. Yep,
Wow.
that was me.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
I'm still
Not
recovering.
Nate Robinson.
No,
Still recovering. Got Simba trying to wake me up right now.
that did not happen. No, no booties were up in the air. I don't know what he's talking about. This is beyond me. It's beyond me. Forte, just do the outro, man. Come on.
No, man, my wife came down here, was talking to me for a minute. Y'all were having a good conversation, so listen, man. There's a reason we're done 10 minutes early because Forte didn't have a bunch of irrelevant stuff to say. So shout out to you guys, but yeah, Persona, shout out to you for coming through, man. Checked out your stream earlier today. I was in there, man. You had a lot of good things to say, so I was happy to have you come over here and rack it up with us. And Slow-Mo, you always my homie. We gonna settle this one of these days. One of these days we gonna settle this. And DBS podcast tomorrow on his channel. Check out Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, and PlayStation. And you guys have a great week and enjoy the games that you're playing.
Forte ain't nothing that rock paper scissors can't handle.
Oh my
Basically.
goodness.
Not at all.
Get on
Yes,
the Zoom call. Rock paper scissors.
And as Forte said, yes, play games, enjoy games. That's what it's all about. The hobby's about having fun, not getting angry or emotional or upset. You know, stop all that nonsense.
That's
Just
gonna
play some
happen
video
anyway.
games.
Too many
Yes, it
people out
probably
here
will.
invested in everything but the games they're playing.
Woo!
We know that, though.
Those are facts. Yeah, Twitter's a new AAA game. All right, on that note.
Think about what
Yeah,
Slow-Mo
go
just went, what he was just saying, what he had to deal with today, and people out here arguing
Facts.
about ray tracing and Hellblade. Stop it.
Facts.
Like y'all mad about that. Stop it.
Yeah. So,
Put things in perspective, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. Bigger things going on.
no, there are bigger things going on. I mean, like, you know, to your point, Slow-Mo, you know, I'm in a school district where my kids are in public school. They're mandating masks, but we just found out, well, the kids are going to be together in the lunchroom and they're not distanced and they're not wearing masks. Like, oh, okay.
So what's the perp?
Yeah, what's the point of wearing a mask then?
Yeah, yo, don't. Yeah, no. I'll tell you that was going
all
on.
These kids gonna be back at home in November.
Right.
You know what's funny?
Right.
You know what's not funny? My wife said that. Unfortunately, like, and not to get into the whole COVID thing, but yes, people always make the argument, oh, you know, kids are most likely okay. Yes, they are. But there's still a likelihood, statistically speaking, that they'll get very sick, end up in a hospital, and even die. That's still a possibility.
Or they can just carry it.
Yeah, or they'll carry it.
Or some of us have children who are on the high risk list.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say
Exactly.
But who still deserve to attempt to go to school and be as safe as possible and not have, you know, crazy mandates. It's not that difficult. Like, elementary school age, they can get vaccinated. It would be a different thing if she can get vaccinated to help, because you know that's like you know.
But it's just like me. It's like everybody in my house I'm vaccinated. My wife is. My oldest daughter is. But my 10-year-old isn't. So when I go to work, even when we don't have to wear masks, I still wear them. You know, all my associates wear them at work because they know I have a kid that isn't vaccinated. So we sacrifice. Even if they don't have to wear them, they do it just, if I'm there with them, they do it just because I'm there with them. I don't require them to do it, but they do it because they understand my situation.
I love how people, for a public health crisis, I didn't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I just saw somebody say homeschool.
Let's not. We stay apart. We don't even need to get into that.
Like,
you ain't gotta
let's
go
ahead. Let's go ahead and end it. Let's save our 10 minutes.
Save our 10 minutes.
Yes.
I understand you ain't got to work tomorrow, but you know some of us.
Who does have to work tomorrow?
You because you know what? Hey,
man, I work.
Listen, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is I got to get off here, guys. I do
have to work tomorrow, sir.
Or go play the games that you say you play that you don't play because you admitted to us 2 weeks ago that you don't play games.
No, that's not true. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. You just trying to stir the pot. I'm not gonna fall. Forte, I'm not gonna fall for your tomfoolery, Nick
That's
Robinson. All right. So on that note, we're out. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the week. Play some video games, have fun. That's what it's all about. We'll see you next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you again for our special guest, Persona. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.